Salam Media. The time is 24 minutes past 9, and we'll be chatting a bit about Week for Palestine and what it's all about, how you can get involved, and how important it is to have weeks later continue the conversation regarding Palestine and all the atrocities that are happening in that part of the world committed by the Israeli occupying forces. So we'll be chatting to the executive member of KZN Palestine Solidarity Forum, Saydoon Sayed, who will be chatting to us about what's Week for Palestine and how you can get involved. I'm sure he's joining us over, telephone right now. Saydoon, Jazakallah for joining us, and welcome to Salam Media.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ameen.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you for having me on your show.
It's a pleasure, and we really, really appreciate you giving us your time to chat to us. First and foremost, for someone that doesn't know, doesn't have an idea what Week for Palestine is and what they're supposed to be doing during this week, how would you unpack it for them?
Palestine, Week for Palestine is an international event taking place from the 1st to the 7th annually. This year, we as South Africans are on our election year, and the theme for Palestine is solidarity with elections. And what this means is that in all 9 provinces in South Africa and countries abroad, we are simultaneously having programs to amplify the voice of the Palestinian people. And being election year in South Africa, we are looking at asking all voters to vote for political party of their choice who are pro-Palestinian. So from the hundreds of endorsed organizations and political party in South Africa, we have listed the parties that are pro-Palestinian, and we are asking our esteemed voters to use their right to vote in favor of the struggle in Palestine. And we all know that Palestine and South Africa has this rich history of being both apartheid states. Alhamdulillah, we in South Africa are also celebrating 30 years of our democracy. And as South African, we will never rest until we see some light in Palestine. And that's what our campaign for this week is. So I would like to also wish all the listeners happy Workers' Day.
No, thank you so much there, Saydoon. You speak on, South Africa being in, an election year. We know that we're going to the polls on the 29th of May. And, you urge all South Africans that will be voting, to go out and endorse and give their vote to parties that are pro-Palestine. And, I want to ask you this, because South African politics are a different kind of animal. I was having a conversation with a few of my friends, regarding this, and I asked the question, how should one vote when, for instance, they vote for a certain party, right? Let's say Party B. And it just so happens that Party B, in their municipality, in their metro, or wherever they reside, is doing quite a good job. They're delivering services. The lights are on, the security potholes are being, fixed. There's no water issues. The mayors and the councillors are very present and they're open for communication. And they are in a way satisfied, and they say, you know what, I'm going to be voting for this party again. But it turns out that this party has a different stance when it comes to Palestine. They are not pro-Palestine. They don't endorse, the Palestinian cause, and that don't support the struggle for, the people of Palestine. What do you do in that regard? What would you say to that voter, that is thinking about what you're saying, they're trying to weigh out the option on how they should be casting, their vote going into the upcoming ballots on the 29th?
I think it's very important that we as South Africans look at the municipalities that are providing good service and how should we do it. I think as voters, we need to influence that municipality and campaign and tell them that they should be on the right side of history and that they should support, be a voice for Palestine. I know there's parties that many people are not happy with the way the party runs, but they are providing these services, and that doesn't give us or entitle us to vote for these parties. If that municipality is well established, anyone that comes into that establishment will be able to move in the direction that you've just explained. So we are also campaigning that vote for pro-Palestinian parties and don't vote for parties that support Zionism, that support the killing, the mayhem, the ethnic cleansing of communities. And so we as voters need to bring about the balance. And we have time from now until the 29th to address this at our municipalities and campaign. And especially now from the 1st to the 7th, I think we need to voice our strong approval for parties that are pro and our strong dislike for parties that are not.
Mm, mm. And still sticking with the theme of elections, you've mentioned that a lot of parties, you've been in engagements with them, and their names, and their stance is very unequivocal when it comes to Palestine. They support the cause of the Palestinian people wholeheartedly, and these are the parties that you'd urge people that are going to be voting to vote for. But then again, you have another side of the coin where political parties may see the issue of Palestine as low-hanging fruit that they can pick and say the right things, act the right way, just because we're in an election year and they know and understand just how passionate South Africans are regarding Palestine, and use that to kind of get votes because it's easy. The communication and the languaging is one that can resonate with a lot of people. As a voter, how do you suss that out? How do you try and surf out political parties, because I'm pretty sure they're there. This is South Africa, and each and everything will be used ultimately for electioneering. And my concern is there might be political parties that are making the right voices when it comes to Palestine, but only because we're in an election year and they want those votes.
So what We for Palestine has done at our press conference, we made all political parties that are pro-Palestinian to sign a code of conduct. So we are going to be able, as a collective, as some hundreds of organizations that are pro-Palestinian, Palestine Solidarity Movement, are going to hold those parties accountable. Because we are, for too long, we let people say what they want to say, and when it comes to elections, they win and they move away from their commitment. And that's why we are in the state we are in today in our country and in most parts of the country, because politicians promise and they're not able to fulfill their promise. So with the political parties that sign the code of conduct, they are now liable to us, the people of South Africa, to keep to their words, to honor their words, to honor their commitment. And if this is not what they are going to do, then the masses in South Africa, and you know that we are a country that activism is in our DNA, in our blood, that we are not going to sit and watch these people who say something and do something else. So every one of them is accountable. And this is what Week for Palestine has initiated. It's just not something that we are feeling good about doing from the 1st of May until the 7th. No, we are committed. And our commitment is that are going to show anyone that's not on the right side of history what it means to defy a code of conduct.
All right. I think we're going to leave it there, Saydoon. Thank you so much for joining us and, shedding a bit of light on Week for Palestine. I'm sure as the week progresses, I will be getting in touch with you just to, get a bit of an idea of some of the events and some of, things that you'll be getting up to as we commemorate this very, very important week.
Can I just highlight that?
Yes.
Being 1st May, there's many rallies in different provinces, and KZN, we are having a forum stitching Palestine today from 2 to 4, and we are also honored to have with us our brand ambassador, Ms. Kiswa Warner, who's with us at 2 o'clock. And then we have Fridays for Palestine on Friday. On Saturday, we're having a march on the Umhlanga Promenade, and we're having an activism workshop on Sunday the 5th. And on Monday the 6th, we are having a Zoom meeting with Dr. Hassan, from a doctor from Gaza, and who's now elected on the Senate of the university. So we'd like to say thank you to Salam Media for highlighting the Week for Palestine, and may we together make a difference in South Africa and the world. Thank you very much.
Really, really appreciate it, and thank you so much for giving us your time. And with regards to social media, do we have a social media where people can get this kind of information and engage with all of the events that you guys will be partaking in from the 1st to the 7th of May?
Yes, our hashtag is Week for Palestine, and our co-host of the event is Africa for Palestine. And you would see each of the provinces, the KZN Palestine Solidarity Movement, the South African Palestine Campaign, the South African Palestine Alliance, the major Palestine Solidarity organizations in all 9 provinces are partners and have adopted the Week for Palestine, and inshallah, hopefully it will be a success, being election year and a year that many of us are not too happy with, over 200 days of ethnic cleansing and genocide in South Africa. So I urge everyone to come on board and be part of the process in the country and other countries that are partner to Week for Palestine. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. That was Saydoon Sayed there, executive member of KZN Palestine Solidarity Forum, just giving us a bit more insight on hashtag Week for Palestine and what it's all about. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, she mentioned that it's election season, and I will be sticking to that theme, and we'll be in conversation with the former ANC SG Secretary General, Asa Magashule. He's now the current president of the African Congress for Transformation, and we'll be picking his brain about the upcoming elections, the ACT coalitions, the Free State, and their ambitions going up to the elections, and what he thinks of the current state of affairs in South Africa, and how you should be casting your vote. So it's going to be a very, very interesting interview with Asa Magashule right after this.